I don't think you can do this. No way, no way. You're too small, you're too light. So I weighed myself yesterday after my workout, 199 pounds. I've lost 46 pounds in 6 months. Here's what happens, man. You go off sugar, gluten, potatoes, rice, beans for 6 months. See what happens. I'll tell you what. I look at old videos on my YouTube channel when I weighed like 240, 245. I cringe with embarrassment and I feel like deleting those videos. I don't even want to be seen like that. It is obscene, it's embarrassing. In fact, I'm going to say some things on this video that are even more embarrassing than my fat self. And I just have to do it because life is short. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm going to tell the truth even though it's embarrassing. And here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about your honeymoon phase with your watches. You know, when I got the citizen military, I was underwhelmed by it at first. I put it on the end mill. I liked it more. It's been growing on me. There's something about the dial, very clean. I like it when a watch grows on me, so that's great. Here's my question for you. How long has been your longest honeymoon with one of your watches? You know, did you get a Grand Seiko, a Rolex, an Omega? Did the honeymoon last longer than a month? Have you ever done a ceremonial YouTube channel unboxing and you just were like crying and all the endorphins were rushing, and what a great honeymoon that was, huh? But you know what, man? The honeymoon is never going to last forever. Always consider that before you buy a watch. You know, advertising makes us think that life is one big honeymoon. Check this out, man. In the 1980s, there was a commercial for spearmint gum. And there was this handsome, smug guy walking at the beach. And he had his gum in the waistband of his swim trunks. And he was being spied upon by these two beautiful women in bikinis. They were on a nearby balcony. And in the commercial, he takes out his package of spearmint gum. And he takes out a stick and he's chewing on it. And one of the blonde women, she's looking at him with her binoculars. And she's saying to her friend, "Oh my gosh, he's got gum. He's got gum." You know, I sometimes I wonder, is that what we think when we wear our Rolex? He's got a Rolex. He's got this. He's got that. Is life just one big honeymoon, one big Chanel 5 moment? We're just bathing in attention, in this explosion of dopamines. What if life were just one protracted watch unboxing? Just this explosion of serotonin, dopamine in the amygdala of your brain. Wouldn't that be something? Probably one of the great lies of advertising. This idea that your life can be one long honeymoon, I think, results in a lot of destructive behavior. Check this out, man. In the early 1990s, I was by myself in my apartment watching a TV preacher. And he was talking about marriage and divorce. The very high rate of divorce in the United States of America. And he said, the problem with Americans is they look at marriage as this giant goodie box. And when you want a goodie, you just reach into the goodie box and you get yourself a goodie. The problem with that mentality is that the goodie box runs out and you end up throwing the goodie box away and getting a new one. And that's kind of like the divorce rate. I wonder if your high turnover rate with your watches is the same thing. Excuse me. I wonder if your high turnover rate is the same, like you're expecting to have a goodie box you just start turning over your watches. And I mean, I think to a certain degree you should turn over your watches. It's part of the fun, but I think it can be excessive. Is there a solution to it? I think there might be. Here's what I want you to think about. Imagine that you have a watch predator inside of you, but it's not one predator, it's two. You have two watch predators. One is the smart predator. The smart predator works on your watch hobby for the long game. And with the long game, you're not looking at the honeymoon so much, you're not looking at the endorphin explosion so much. You're looking for that timeless piece that's going to last forever. You're not going to get tired of it. It doesn't have gimmicks, doesn't have bizarre crowns, bizarre shapes, bizarre color configurations. I mean, if you want one wild card watch, that's up to you. But to get that type of watch, to play for the long game, is really hard because, you know, internet images aren't going to do it. You almost need to live with a watch for about a month, which is why if you own a Tudor black base steel or a 42mm Grand Seiko, send it to me and I'll wear it for a month and I'll tell you if I'm going to buy it or not. No problem. I'll baby it. Don't worry. So that's the thing. The thing is, though, you have another watch predator inside of you, and this one's not as smart as the first one I described. This one, let's give it a name. Let's call him Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay, Sonny the Cuckoo Bird was a TV character I used to watch as a kid, and he did a commercial for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. So I would eat a whole box of that in the morning. It wasn't even full, man. I was hungry like 10 minutes later because it doesn't fill you up. And I think Cocoa Puffs are the equivalent of the over blinged out, oversized TV brand watches I used to buy that never satisfied. And this is embarrassing. This is the equivalent of showing you my 245-pound Fat Man videos. I had 55 of these TV brand watches, but they were Cocoa Puffs. They didn't fill me up. I flipped all of them. And you know what, man? That money was wasted. I could have bought my Tudor black base steel, my 42mm Grand Seiko silver dial. Excuse me while I go cry my guts out. I'll be right back. Yeah, I feel great now because, you know, confession is good for the soul. So I think if you look at your Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs watch predator in a different way that you see your smart watch predator, you might have less expectations about the whole honeymoon thing. You know, my friend Johnny Casual told me something a long time ago about watches. He learned this when he went up to the Oris. It was his first breakthrough Swiss watch. He was buying a lot of TV brands before that. He said, McMahon, there's two kinds of watches. There's showers and there's growers. A shower is that ostentatious thing that gives you a short buzz, but then it wears off. A grower is a watch, you put it on, you're not necessarily overwhelmed by it, but it sticks with you, man. It's your companion for life. I kind of feel that way about the Tudor Black Steel, but I got home repairs coming up. Ooh, I need some paint. I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of budget you're on, but anyways, tell me what's the longest honeymoon you've ever had. Tell me what you think of this honeymoon concept, and I'll look forward to hearing from you, and until next time, I'm out.